Title: My wife of 20 years blindsided me. Honey, I got pregnant after a revenge affair. I thought you cheated, so I had just one night stand. The guy took Y off the protection because he said it wasn't comfortable. Start: I remember the sound before the words, her voice shaking, trembling like a wire pulled too tight. Honey, I need to tell you something. She didn't look at me, not directly. Her fingers twisted the hem of her sweater, eyes darting to the floor as if guilt had a shape she was trying to avoid. Then she said it. I thought you were cheating, so I had a one-night stand. I got pregnant. He said the condom felt uncomfortable and he took it off. I didn't know until it was too late. The world around me went still. Not silent, just still. Like sound refused to touch me anymore. 20 years of marriage dissolved into a sentence. 20 years of love, laughter, sacrifices, traded for one impulsive act born from her imagination. I stared at her, the woman who once waited for me at the airport holding our newborn son. The woman I thought I'd die beside. Now, all I saw was the hollow echo of a stranger wearing her face. I didn't yell, didn't cry. I simply said, I wish you all the best raising the baby alone. Bye. Then I walked upstairs, packed my suitcase, and left. By morning, there were 187 missed calls. For years, I had trusted her with everything, from my passwords to my peace. She knew my rhythm, when I'd come home, what I'd cook, how I'd touch her back at night before we fell asleep. And I knew hers, or thought I did. We met in college. She was fierce, funny, loyal. Or maybe I just wanted to believe loyalty looked like her. We built our lives from nothing. 2 kids, a house by the coast, and a business I ran quietly behind the scenes while she focused on family. I'd never given her reason to doubt me. But suspicion doesn't need reason, it only needs imagination. She told herself stories, then punished me for the fiction in her head. And that's what cut the deepest, not the affair, but her assumption that I could. When she confessed, something inside me didn't break, it crystallized. Pain became structure. I didn't rage, I didn't beg, I planned. First, I disappeared. She couldn't find me. No calls, no address, no trace. My number was changed within an hour. I left my phone behind, took a rental car, and drove 3 states away. In those weeks, I built my next move, calmly, precisely. The house was in my name. I'd bought it before we married, but out of love, added her later. She didn't know the addition was conditional, a survivorship clause tied to fidelity. One legal consultation, and it was reversed quietly. The business account? She thought it was ours. It wasn't. It was a holding company under my sole proprietorship. She had access to the family funds, yes, but not the core, not the spine that held it all. I began transferring assets, closing joint accounts, redirecting investments, all done slowly, over 6 months, through a trusted financial attorney. In her world, I was still recovering from the heartbreak. In mine, I was rewriting the rules of the game. She tried to reach out. Emails, messages through friends, even letters through my sister. They all said the same thing. It was a mistake, I love you, I was angry, please come home. But betrayal changes tone. You start hearing the cracks in every sentence. Love sounds different when it's crawling back. A year passed before I let her see me again. By then, the child was born, a boy. Not mine, but she still named him Ethan, the name we once picked for our second son. That day, I met her at a cafe. She looked exhausted. Regret had a way of aging her faster than time. I've lost everything, she whispered. No, I said. You still have the truth. You just don't like how it looks. She begged me to reconsider, to think of the family. Family? The word used to mean something sacred. Now it was just a weapon with a sentimental blade. I told her I had thought of everything. That's why I'd made sure our children would never suffer. Their college funds were intact, untouchable by her. I'd set up trusts in their names, independent of her finances. But her? She'd have to rebuild from ashes she set herself on fire with. 3 weeks later came the public reveal. The truth always finds light when you guide it carefully. It started with a family dinner, both sides invited, her parents, our kids, mutual friends. She thought it was an attempt to reconcile. I told her I wanted closure, to move forward peacefully. Halfway through dinner, I slid an envelope across the table. Inside were photos, timelines, DNA results, and her messages to the man, the one who took it off because it wasn't comfortable. Her father's hand froze midair. Her mother's tears hit the table before she could speak. She looked at me like I'd shot her. But I didn't pull the trigger, she did, the night she let someone else take off the protection, both literal and symbolic. I stood up, calm. "I'm not here to destroy you," I said quietly, "just to remove the illusion that you were ever innocent." Then I walked out. The fallout was brutal. Her family disowned her. The affair partner vanished once he realized paternity meant court-ordered responsibility. She lost the house, the comfort, the name. But the worst punishment wasn't what I did, it was silence. The void where my presence used to be. I rebuilt quietly, new city, new home, new number. Never remarried, never needed to. Revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just the sound of peace returning to your own soul. People ask if I regret leaving so suddenly. No. The truth is, love makes you blind. But betrayal? It teaches you to see, clearly, painfully, beautifully. So when she said, "Honey, I thought you cheated," I realized something. She was never apologizing. She was excusing herself. And I wasn't leaving out of anger. I was leaving because some stories deserve a quiet ending, and I'd just written mine.